everyone, and welcome back to another weekly analysis by Traderbook. My name's Ramon, and today I'll be taking you over some analysis on silver, XAG USD, and some analysis on US oil WTI. Now, before we start, I'd like to remind you that this is for educational purposes only, so please do not take anything in a form of investment advice. And I'd also like to remind you that if you like this video or any of our other videos, please head over to www.traderbook.co.uk, where we offer the best mentorship for every level and every experience level of our students. So whether you're a new trader or have a lot of experience, we offer retail and institutional side trading. So please get on there now and start your mentorship early. There are limited spaces, guys, so please get on there ASAP if you'd like a spot with your mentor. So we'll go straight into it, guys. So as you can see here, we have the price of silver. Now, why I chose to analyze silver this week is because of a few things. One of them being very good technical analysis in terms of movement to the upside, and also I'd like to heavily pinpoint the fact that we've had a lot of manipulation in the market recently. For once, it's not been done by the banks, and it's been done by the retail side of traders, which is something that's never been done before. Of course, many of you know of what's been going on with the Reddit group, Wall Street Bets. So what we would like to do is pick up on a little bit of movement in terms of fundamental and technical analysis on silver. Now, we will start with the fundamental side, just because of the sheer volume of people who would like to know what's going on. Technically, we're looking very good for a bullish move on silver, but the real reason people have been talking a lot about a push up is the fact that the Wall Street Bets have been linked to pushing the price higher. So over here you can see we have got a push higher here, and now what's happened is that essentially the main people who at Reddit or at the Reddit group have decided to use silver as another form of a pump. Now, this could happen at any time, this could not happen, so please don't take anything too literal and decide to do your own research. But from what we've heard and what we've been looking at on the internet, we've heard that they're looking to pump this market. Now, what we would do here is we'd be very careful before entering any positions, because obviously it's all based on speculation and we don't really trade on speculation. So we'd have to really look at the technical side to things and how silver is looking on a technical perspective. So let's just straight get into that on a monthly. Now, what's really caught my eye on a monthly on silver would be this lovely little pin bar here. Now you can see a short rejection over here. I'll just zoom in for you guys so you can see better. But anytime there is a pin bar on the monthly, I always favor a move to the upside. As you can see here, we've had similar pin bar here, and look at the extreme volume we've got here, an extreme move to the upside. We've got a little bit of retracement here, which is natural. Obviously, we've had issues regarding the pandemic, which caused this kind of pullback. But obviously, since then, since December, we have recovered, and now in January, we're looking at the price of $27. And also we have this pin bar formed here. So now this obviously closed for the monthly. So we're going into February with a pin bar on form of a monthly candle. So what we want to do is we'll break it down to the weekly side. Now on the weekly side, obviously we can see here a lot of support around that $22 mark. We've seen a double bottom over here, and then we've seen a pump up to this side, and now obviously we haven't broken the highs just yet, so I would really want to see a break above $27 here, $28 for me to really be bullish on this. But of course we have so much analysis to overdo for silver. I do think that there will be a lot of pushing in price, and if you look at the daily, now we'll bring up some of the analysis we've got. Obviously we've got a lot more analysis on our mentorship program, so if you guys really want to know where to buy and when to buy, then please head over there. This is just a little breakdown that I'd like to take you guys through of what we're looking at. Now what we've got here, obviously on the daily time frame, we've got this trend line, this downwards trend line that's been broken. That's the main key level that I would like to buy on, is a pullback to the trend lines that have been broken. So of course you can see here price hits here once at $29, again at 28, and then we've got the break over here. Now obviously price resisted a little bit at that 25 mark and then broke again, retested, which confirms that trend line, broke again, retested, retested again, and then broke again. So this trend line holds really well on a daily time frame. What we're doing is we're following it up, finding good areas to buy and good areas to take our profit. In the coming future though, with silver, I wouldn't really want to take out any profits because I do feel like there's a real big push up in the long run, similarly to gold and then more other commodities that are with similar interest. So we do want to be careful with that. But as you can tell here, let me just zoom in so you guys can see a little bit more. A lot of people have asked me if I was to get into a buy position on silver, where would I place my stop loss? Where would it be a safe position to place your stop loss where, you know, things could get bleak and turn around and you don't know whether to be in that trade or not. Now if you look over here, I've drawn this resistance area here. Now this resistance held very well around November. Again, was just recently broken to push up, so we can tell that there's this real strong resistance here. And to give a little bit more confluence to the situation, if we date back all the way, this resistance really holds. We're looking at 2012, 3 touches that resistance brought for a big pull up. So we do feel like as a trading sort of perspective on a technical basis, that $26 is a real fair place to put your stop loss at if you would like to enter at any position. Not that I'm recommending it, but I would just say that, you know, maybe be careful and have a little bit of a wider stop loss if you don't feel too sure. For you on the technical perspective, you'll understand why I've placed my support zone here. So obviously we've seen resistance turn support, and on the daily on Friday we saw it test there just one more time before taking another push back up to 27. So it'd be really interesting to see where where we open on this market. But I do feel like obviously with the fundamental aspects of people pumping this market, and also from a technical perspective, we are looking very bullish on XAG USD. So I will follow this up for next week's analysis and see where we get with this market and how much profit you could have made if you were to enter or if you were to sell. So really looking forward to updating you guys next week on what happens here. And again, if you want really good trading analysis based on this market, and you'd like to be one of my students, then by all means go to traderbook.co.uk, and I would gladly have you guys join our private Telegram, where I can show you exactly perfect areas and pinpoint areas to get in on and maximize your profit. So yeah, okay guys, now looking at US oil. Now if you've seen some of my previous videos, I've been looking at this for a couple of weeks. What I've really been looking for is a push to the downside. Now we've got real buying pressure. Obviously we've spoken about what's caused this in our previous video, so if you'd like to catch up, just go to our YouTube channel and go under Ramon's weekly analysis, and you'll see the previous videos where we've sort of called this area of consolidation, the key instigator to a pushback, preferably following to meet this trend line that we've got going on since the bottom. So we do want to see a good sell point here. Now of course I mentioned in my previous videos I would not get in on any selling activity on here until we can breach that 151.50 mark completely. Now obviously we've had a little breach here, but that was what we call a false breakout, so meaning the price just steadily bounced off that and came back. What we want to do is we want to see a close above that on the daily chart. Now I'll take you over the daily chart in a bit, but let's just have a little bit more understanding of what's going on here on the weekly. Now on the weekly, what we've done is we've seen 3 pins to the downside. Now obviously some people may argue the fact that this closed above and it should close below, but to be fair, it was en route to go down. Now what we'll need to do again next week is to see what it does on the weekly time frame. If it does break that 51.50, then I will go in for a sell and I'll try and maximize my profit. Obviously we can see here on these pins, we've got closes that are going lower. So we've got a close on 53.90, then a close on 53.82, then a close on 53.55. So we are seeing price steadily gain some momentum to the downside, which is a real big change, because we haven't really had any sort of pin bar towards the downside ever since that big crash we had. So if you look back here, you know, we cannot see any form of any pins. This is a real instigator. This is a real key big factor of oil really dropping. Whether it drops, you know, 1,000 pips, 100 pips, we don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. And then, but what we want to do is we really want to see on the weekly time frame a close below that 51.50. I would personally go on a daily time frame. So if we get a daily close below that 51.50, then I'll go in for a short. Of course, we know where our stop loss is going to be. We've seen the resistance here above 53.9, so just above $54 would be a good point to put your stop loss and carry the trade down. Now obviously elements of risk, it depends on your strategy. If you guys would like to know my strategy, then by all means go to www.traderbook.co.uk, where we will go over our mentorship program, and I'll show you and guide you until you're ready to start trading by yourself on how to have a good strategic analysis and how to actually get into positions on these markets. Now what we do is we don't specifically focus on any markets, we specifically focus on markets that suit our strategy. So that's something a little bit different. A lot of people just go around and pick whatever pair or, you know, whatever market they would like to trade in. We specifically go for ones that are more adaptive and more correlated with our form of strategy. So this will be a very interesting market to check. Now if you just go on the daily, again, we've seen a lot of resistance at that 53.90 for $54 mark. We see a pin here again on the daily, which is really good news for our sellers. We also see the MA is really rising up to meet that price. So obviously if anyone trades the reversion to the mean strategy, this will be a perfect opportunity for them to get in on this. But I would really like to see a bounce of this trend line, or maybe even potentially off this MA, to be honest. So that $40 mark that we discussed in our previous videos is a real strong key target before we get another push above $54. We'll slowly be taking this in positions, so we'll do positional trading and probably use a strategy of pyramiding to get in on some really good trades on here on the daily time frame. What I would obviously want to do is by next week for our analysis, weekly analysis, we'll go over some positions that we've taken and go from there. But it looks really promising. Again, consolidation happened here, which is what we expected, and we want to see a break of that 51.50 to get in on any sales. Now guys, again, thank you for your time, and we'll hope to see you next week. If you guys want to see some more analysis, check out our YouTube channel. We've got some other mentors there who have some really good analysis, so check them out. Thanks guys, bye.